I want to welcome you all to the call. My name is Anne Turnbull. I'm with Max International, and it's really a pleasure to host the call tonight and to welcome all of you. So if you've been invited here by someone, then I believe that you've been invited for a reason, so that you will get some fantastic information. I see we have Togo in the house as well. Fantastic. And so I'm so pleased to introduce our first guest speaker. This is someone who I've been spending a lot of time with, working with, and really enjoying his company. He's an amazing, amazing individual, so knowledgeable and so creative and so passionate about health. And so we have been doing a series of health and wellness programs. We've done one on diabetes. We've done one on heart and libido, and this event is all about the power of sleep. We're also going to be doing another event coming up this Saturday. If you happen to be in Nairobi, we'll do the event in Westlands at West Park Tower in Nairobi on Saturday afternoon. It will be on the power of glutathione. We will do a replay of that event in a couple of weeks' time. So without much more ado, let me introduce our first speaker. This is Mr. Micah Kibera. He is a clinical nutritionist. He is a wonderful, wonderful gentleman, very knowledgeable. He breaks things down so easily so that every one of us can understand them. I always take a ton of notes when I'm with him because I learn so much every single time. So Micah, you're welcome. You can unmute yourself and turn on your video. It would be great to have you. Welcome to the call, Micah. I know you're even out in an event tonight, so we're really, really appreciative that you're making time for this great program. Great to have you. Great. Okay, so I see you found a spot somewhere. We're not hearing you too well, though. Let's see.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, great. Fantastic.
So let me share my screen.
Wonderful.
So to all our attendees and participants, welcome to today's session. We'll be talking about harnessing the power of sleep. And it's one of the things we need to really discuss in detail so that we can understand what happens when we close our eyes and also how best it serves our health. Now, there's something that we all do every night, like a big percentage of the population of the world. When it turns dark, we go into a state of unconsciousness and also a bit of paralysis. Yes, paralysis is involved in the process of sleep, so that you do not find yourself acting out your dreams, but we'll find out where that comes in. And we'll start off by defining what we'll be learning today or what we'll be discussing today. So number one, we will be discussing what is sleep, just a brief description of it from a scientific point of view, so that we can understand the science behind it, and then what happens during that process, and then what do we consider a successful sleep cycle, the importance of sleep, sleep-associated issues, factors that affect sleep, and finally, how do we improve the quality of our sleep? Now, to the first question. So what is sleep? This is a naturally occurring state of reduced consciousness, and also sensory activity is reduced. As I said, you will fall into a state of unconsciousness and be a bit paralyzed, so that sleep process can take effect effectively. Now, it is a very fundamental biological need for most of us, because during sleep is when we get to repair our muscles and our bodies, and also detoxify our brain. Because yes, the process of thinking does lead to accumulation of a bit of waste, and during sleep is when we eradicate this waste. So the science in sleep, these are the four main core steps, or four main core, let me say, statements that are involved in sleep. There's the first one, which is called regulation of what we call circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is our body's clock that determines what happens to us, and it follows the sun. So the darker it gets, the slower we get, the more relaxed we get, the more tuned we are for sleep and relaxation, and also we start feeling drowsy and sleepy, and finally we doze off for the day. Circadian rhythm is very important in regulation of our sleep pattern because it's simply our body's clock that follows night and day. The other one is sleep drive and homeostatic regulation. There are hormones involved in the process of sleep. I'll just mention one of them, which is melatonin. Some of us do take melatonin supplements to assist us with the process of shutting our eyes. Yes, it's one of the hormones that does control sleep, and it's very important for sleep. Others include oxytocin, dopamine, just hormones that keep your body in a state of relaxation, and also the hormone that keeps you in a state of paralysis during the process of sleep, and also the hormone that gets you out of the state of sleep, cortisols. And the last one is neurotransmitters and hormones. As I said, state of paralysis. Neurotransmission is simply impulses from the brain to the fingers and to the limbs and vice versa. Now, if we want you not to act out as or respond to a stimuli, even let's say, for example, during surgery, we administer something that will dull down that transmission, which will keep you in a state of paralysis. So the body does that for us during the state of sleep. And that's how we can explain the science in sleep. So now, what is the sleep cycle? It's not just a question of getting into bed, pulling your covers and closing your eyes. There is a cycle involved to what happens to you during this vital process of our day. Now, sleep is divided into 4 main specific steps. The first one is non-random eye movement. The second one is stage 2 of the same non-random eye movement. The first 2 are light sleep. The last 2 is when you get the deep sleep, one of them being random eye movement, and the middle one being stage 3 of non-random eye movement. So it keeps in flow for about 90 to 120 minutes. Then you break the cycle, turn from one side to another, for those of us who love tossing from one side to another, or shifting, or turning the pillow over from a warmer side to a cooler side. That's when it happens, at that break, during that break, and then after you turn, the cycle starts again. We go through this cycle about 3 to 4 times in a night, and that's why we say in 90 to 120 minutes, 3 to 4 times a night leads to 6 to 8 hours of complete sleep. That's where the maths comes in. So now, the first stage, it's called non-random eye movement sleep, stage 1. It's your transition from wakefulness to drowsiness and relaxation. Happens for just a few minutes, and then you might experience sudden muscle contractions and sensations of falling, as though you are leaving your body. Some of us, we can simply call it, by definition, talking about yourself in third person, because it's as though you are looking at yourself from a third perspective. So this is what happens during this stage. This is very light sleep. You are just falling into sleep. You're just falling into that state. And this is where most of us, even if you're at a table or a desk or at the seat, you start having what we call the dropping of the head. And some of us, especially for those of us who have gone through the African system of education, we used to call it allocating land. So to the north, to the south, just by the movement of the head. The second one is still under non-random eye movement, but it's a bit deeper than the previous one. This is where the body temperature and heart rate decrease a bit, and also eye movement. In short, your metabolism goes down because even your brain activity drops a bit. And it's very significant because it occupies a bigger portion of the total sleep you will have during the first 2 steps. Now, during this step is whereby most of us start pulling our covers closer to us, because we want to feel the warmth and we want to feel a bit cozy, because the body is losing its core temperature. It's releasing a bit of its core temperature so that the metabolism can drop a bit and you don't get heightened activity during this state. The third one, where now we start forgetting ourselves and we start releasing ourselves to the power of sleep. Now it's fully taking over. It's called still under non-random eye movement, but can also be called slow wave sleep / the start of deep sleep. You lose consciousness, you let go of yourself, and this is where you have restoration of hormones and also immune functions. And getting up from this state is a bit, it's a bit tough, because this is where you shake someone and they are not waking up. You keep shaking them and they are not responding. And even when they get out of it, they are disoriented and very groggy. And they can even have what we call irrelevant conversations, whereby you mention something and they respond, or they come out of the state of sleep and they speak out what they were seeing behind the covers of their eyelids. The last one, we call it random eye movement. This is where we are vividly seeing things. Our brain is downloading all the images you have had or you have kept in your subconscious mind for a period of time. There's a lot of brain activity, and this is where we need paralysis. Otherwise, we'll find ourselves acting out our dreams. Breathing and heart rate also become a bit irregular, because let's say you are experiencing what we call a nightmare. So you're in a state of shock, but due to the paralysis, only the heart rate is high, but the muscles and the limbs are a bit limp. During this process is where cognitive, memory, and emotional processes are regulated. As I said, the process of thinking throughout the day yields a bit of waste. This is where that waste is eliminated. This is a very important part of the sleep, because it is also the transition from full sleep to waking up. The hormone involved in getting us out of this sleep or out of this state is called cortisol. It is a stress hormone, and it counteracts the paralytic hormone that we had released. That's how sleep cycles through. So how important is sleep? As I said, number one, it helps restore and rejuvenate the body. Very important for tissue repair, for those of us who do a lot of muscle exhaustive activities. Important for muscle growth, those of us who are doing a lot of gymming. You need to clock in your 8 hours. Important for restoring immunity. Apart from exposing yourself to unnecessary risks, because you're in the safe and comfort of your house, it also helps your immunity reboot, helps with memory consolidation. As I said, conversion from short-term memory to long-term memory happens during sleep. So whenever you are studying for your CATs or your exams or for a presentation, like for me, sleep is very important so that you can internalize everything you are saying. Deep sleep is important for physical restoration. Otherwise, you'll wake up with achy joints and achy muscles. Random eye movement is important for the cognitive process, emotional regulation, and memory consolidation. Sleep deprivation leads to emotional exhaustion. Always remember that. That's why sleep happens best when you're sleeping next to a loved one. Ask mothers and their small babies, they'll tell you. So what affects sleep? Number one, the environment you're in. Now, the first and foremost enemy of sleep is light, particularly blue light that is emitted by our phones and our devices. So please create a very conducive environment for you to sleep in. And one of them is a dark environment. Melatonin, the hormone, very critical for sleep, works best or is released comfortably in a state of darkness. Number two, lifestyle and daily habits. Now, you cannot be ingesting caffeine at night and expecting to have quality sleep. The stage 2 will be affected. Stage 2 of non-random eye movement will be affected. And it will be dragged a bit low, and stage 1 will be dragged a bit longer, because you'll find it hard to completely release and fall into that deep state of sleep. Stress and mental health. Now, imagine riding a bicycle down the hill, then your brakes fail and you're trying to slow it down with your foot. That's what happens when you're in a state of stress or mental unrest and you are trying to fall asleep. Everything is saying, go, 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 while you're trying to slow it down and make it stop. Now, you need to have a sleep schedule. For me, by 10 p.m., my lights are shutting out. So if you call me during that period, I'm sorry, I will not pick, I'm sleeping. Have a sleep schedule and a routine. Routine might involve, for those of us who do the skincare routine, your serums and everything, it's good to have a routine. For me, return the lights, return the shades, turn off all electronic equipment, keep my phone a bit further from hand's reach so that when the alarm rings, I can wake up and actually get out of bed rather than snooze immediately, and so forth. Have a routine. Electronic devices and screens, I talked about blue light, the enemy of melatonin. Medical conditions also, some of us find it hard to fall asleep, or when we fall asleep, we have to jerk ourselves up out of that state of rest or complete release, especially if you have sleep apnea, a condition that involves reduction in breathing during sleep because of blockages, particularly of the sinuses. That one is something that will affect the quality of your sleep. And the last one, age and developmental factors. Babies sleep longer so that they can grow efficiently. As you grow older, sleep becomes an elusive part of your day, and that's why it has to be intentional when you want to sleep. So establish a schedule and a routine. Now, causes of poor sleep. The first one, there's something we call RLS, the restless leg syndrome. It's a medical condition. It's spontaneous spasms that cause you to jerk your leg, which shocks you out of that state of sleep and brings you back to full wakefulness. And then it takes you a bit longer to sleep because whatever caused the jerking of the leg might be a hormone that can be identified either as adrenaline or a stress hormone. So restless leg syndrome. The second one is circadian rhythm disorders. It can happen especially for those of us who are crossing borders with planes very frequently. You live, we're in the equatorial region, Africa. So if you cross towards the northern hemisphere, time changes a bit. And then when you fly towards the west, you start finding that you're chasing the sun. And my computer wants to shut down. Just a minute. I need to look for a password.
Okay, who's learned something so far? If you've learned anything interesting, just put a me into the chat. If you've learned something so far, I hope you're finding this interesting. I always love to listen to Micah because, you know, he just breaks it down so easily and makes it really down to earth, you know. So that's great. Okay, great. So some of you are learning. That's fantastic. I'm happy. Amazing. All right, Micah, did you get your cord, your power cord?
Yes, I've already plugged it in. I responded very fast. Thank you for my new.
You certainly did. Yes, you did. Okay, good. Everyone is learning. They're loving it. So please go right ahead.
So circadian rhythm is the clock that your body follows that determines your sleep at night and your wakefulness during the day. It is disrupted when you start moving against sunrise and sunset. That's why you're talking about moving from one time zone to another. It will affect you. So always do your time savings. It will help you. The other one is in shift in work. For those of us in the medical field, we know some of us have to go for the night shifts, and it really affects our sleep quality and pattern. You can't compare sleep at night to sleep in the daytime, and also you can't compare sleep in the daytime alone with sleep at night with a loved one. You can't compare the two. One is more quality. Now the other one is insomnia, whereby you have difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep. So you doze off, get to stage 2, jerk yourself out of that state, get back to full wakefulness. You haven't gotten to your stage 3 and stage 4. Very important. Sleep apnea, as I talked, is something that affects your breathing, a bit of blockage, particularly of your sinuses, which simply means you might wind up snoring or struggling to pull in the air so that you can oxygenate yourself adequately. Now, for those of us who have, let me call it chronic sleep apnea, you might find yourself being told to use an oxygen concentrator as you're sleeping, so that instead of just absorbing 21%, you're absorbing a bit more, about 30 to 40% more, which is 10 to 20% extra, giving you better concentration of oxygen. Now, if you have something called weight gain or obesity, please, sleep apnea can affect you. And whenever you go walk into your doctor's office, the first thing they're going to say is shed some weight, shed some weight. Now, medical conditions like chronic pain, respiratory disorders, and neurological disorders. So some of us tend to have numbness, tingliness, or some sharp pains whenever we start releasing or falling asleep. It's associated to some medical conditions like Parkinson's disease and so forth. And those of us who have ulcers, at night is when the flare-ups start. Yeah, and then you have to rush for your antacids and your esomeprazoles to try suppress that pain. So medical conditions can cause you to have poor sleep. Another one is lifestyle factors. I said ingestion of caffeine and alcohol might really trigger irregular sleep patterns. Even nicotine, for those of us smoking, nicotine is a stimulant, and it does not allow the body to rest. The other one is stress and anxiety. As I said, trying to slow down a raging bull by grabbing the horns while it is in full motion, it will drag you along. Stress will drag you along as you're trying to fall asleep. So you will have two winks and then you wake up fully awake, your eyes fully dilated and trying to see into the dark, pupils fully dilated. That's how you know that someone is in a state of shock. Pupils are fully dilated. And environmental factors such as noise pollutants and bright lights create that conducive environment. Quiet environment with those soothing sounds. You can choose the whale noise, you can choose the sound of the ocean, which I find very soothing. So it depends on what works for you, but sharp, aggressive noises really interfere with sleep. And yeah, so with poor sleep, these are what you would experience: fatigue, mood disruption, impaired memory and learning, weakened immunity, increased risk of chronic health issues, weight gain, and appetite dysregulation. That means whenever people are being served meals, you don't have the appetite, but at night when it's dark, that's when you start creeping towards the fridge and having an extra serving for yourself. Impaired physical performance, you'll find that anytime you sit down and you get in a state of comfort, you start dozing off in meetings. Yeah, your quality of sleep should be questioned, especially during this period of cold. You're looking for that comfort and warm position. Increased risk of mental health disorders. And finally, relationship and social difficulties. You're always falling asleep, the jokes in the room will keep flying by you, then you'll be waking up asking people. And then you become like a source of disruption to the meeting and so forth. And also it affects your relationship because you become groggy, moody. Then someone starts calling you a ticking time bomb. Whenever you're asked to do something, you respond with a harsh tone, which now leads to you becoming people. Now, how do we improve our sleep? Number one, create that comfortable sleep environment, dark, warm, cozy, soft, mattress, pillow, take a shower. For those of us who have access to such, a massage also helps, and so forth. Limit caffeine and stimulants, avoid heavy meals at night. Yeah, you're going to sleep when all your muscles are slowing down, including your digestive tract muscles. So why are you giving yourself such a heavy meal? You wind up clogging up, and then you wake up with a lot of pain and bloating and so forth. Exercise regularly, get that body tired so that it desires that state of rest. Managing stress and anxiety, it is good to seek help. Having someone to talk to is very, very important. And also, the strongest person is who knows their limitations. Ask for help. Limit napping. Stop sleeping during daylight hours. Wait until night. Evaluate your sleep environment. As I said, keep your blue light sources away. Avoid clock watching. You sleep for 2 minutes, then you turn around, you look at the watch and you're like, ah, this night is so slow. Stop clock watching. Seek professional help if you need it. There are medications you can be prescribed for that will really help you fall asleep. You need a psychiatrist for that. Stick to a consistent sleep schedule as advised. Mine starts from 10. So I'm counting T minus 1.5 hours to me clocking out for the night, and creating a sleep-friendly environment. For those of us who need humidifiers, moisturize the room, keep it warm with a heater and so forth, really creates a conducive environment for you. And also someone said, grab a book, start reading, you'll fall asleep a bit faster. I don't know how true is that, you tell me. Establishing a relaxing bedtime routine, massages and so forth, they help. So now, what are some of the nutrients we can ingest on a regular to improve the quality of our sleep? Number one is magnesium, which promotes relaxation and quality of sleep. Very, very readily available in our leafy green vegetables, which is very important. Your muscles relax, you're definitely going into that state of self-release. Tryptophan, which is an amino acid, and very important for release of serotonin, which serotonin is it's a love hormone that makes you relax. People call it a love hormone or associated with love, but it keeps your body in a state of relaxation, same to oxytocin. Also, sleeping next to a loved one improves release of the two hormones because you're feeling safe and secure. Good sources of tryptophan is our poultry and fish, dairy products also, nuts and seeds. So you see, consistency. Nuts, remember that. Melatonin, stay away from blue light. Keep away from your phones during sleep time and stop doom scrolling. For those of us who go to TikTok at that hour, stop doom scrolling. Good sources, good food sources that promote melatonin are kiwis, almonds, walnuts, and flax seeds. The other one is B6, also enhances release of serotonin. Good sources include poultry, bananas, chickpeas, and fortified cereals. You can see some of these foods are repeating themselves. So the other one are omega fatty acids, which have anti-inflammatory properties and really help improve the quality of your sleep by helping you relax and reducing oxidative stress. They are found in fish, flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts. You see, really, repetition of food sources. So when you ingest something like walnuts, you're ingesting a good source of melatonin and also omega-6, the omega fatty acids, sorry. Vitamin D, best source is sun exposure, especially during this cold weather. Anytime you get to do even 20 to 30 minutes of sun exposure, take advantage of that. Also, a good source of vitamin D is egg yolks, but dietary sources are about approach 20% of what you need in 24 hours. So sun exposure still outweighs the other sources, the other dietary sources. It really improves your state of relaxation. Another good source is potassium and calcium. This one, potassium is a mediator of muscle activity and also cardiac activity. So if your heart relaxes, definitely your body relaxes. So there's no thumping in your eardrums. Calcium is also a mediator of cardiac activity. Same thing. A relaxed heart leads to a relaxed good body. You can see the sources: bananas, leafy green vegetables, avocados. Like it's like a repetition. like a repetition. It's like a chorus. Every time we talk about a good nutrient, the sources are repetitive. And the final part is antioxidants, which really play a major role. Because one, they reduce oxidative stress. Oxidative stress leads to release of a lot of stress hormones. So it helps counter the release of a lot of stress hormones, which is very good for us. And also, some of the best sources of antioxidants are our fruits, vegetables, and nuts. And also, supplementation helps a lot. Now, we have come to the end of our presentation. Remember, sleep is a vital process in maintaining harmony of health in your body. Once again, my name is Micah Kibera, clinical nutritionist. That is my number. The country code is +254. Then you omit the 0 and you continue with the rest. And you can engage me also on Instagram under the handle Nutrition Ninja. Thank you so much. I hand over back the meeting to Anne. Anne, please take us through the next part. And thank you so much for the evening.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Micah. Please do stay around in case there are any questions. That's always so fascinating. I love listening. It was a really, really great presentation filled with a lot of insights. And so some of you may be wondering, can you get the recording? Yes, you'll be able to get it because I know we went through everything very quickly. So watch for that. And thank you so much once again, Micah. And of course, if you're here in Kenya, Nairobi, you can certainly do a consultation with Micah. He's really incredible at what he does. And if you want to do an online consultation with him and just make sure you're getting your nutrition right, you can certainly book that as well. And so I'm going to take us through the next part of what we want to talk about tonight. And Micah talked about supplementation. And so I want to just go through and share a little bit about what we have here with Max International. Now, I've been with Max International for 14 years. I'm extremely passionate about what we have with this company, Max International, as known as the glutathione company. And Micah finished off his presentation by talking about the importance of antioxidants. Now, health in general is critically important. We know when we can't sleep, we have a terrible time. When you're not getting enough sleep at night, when you're not able to sleep well, your whole life is impacted, your day-to-day, your health, your relationships, and all of the things that Micah talked about. And not only just sleep. If there's anything else going on in your health, it really, really impacts your entire life. And of course, our health is dependent upon the health of every one of our cells. Now, our cells depend on glutathione to survive. Now, if you're like me, maybe you've never even heard the word glutathione before being introduced to what we're talking about tonight. I did not know about glutathione before I was introduced to Max International some 14 years ago now. But glutathione is actually produced in every single cell in our body. It is our body's natural defense. We make it naturally in every cell. It is our body's natural defense against toxins, against stress, against pollution, even against lack of sleep. It helps protect us, but anything bad that's going on, glutathione is our protector. Now, if we have enough glutathione, everything is great. Our immune system is good, our inflammation is reduced, our aging is slowed down, even our sleep is better, our energy is good, our mental focus, everything is just better. But the problem is most of us don't have enough because from the age of 20, our glutathione levels are going downhill. That's just normal, natural. But if you have issues like lack of sleep, for example, all we've been talking about today, if you have lack of sleep, if you have poor diets, if you have illness, if you have stress, if you take alcohol, all of those things will cause our glutathione levels to go down even faster. And this is really an issue because, as we said, it's glutathione that keeps our cells healthy. Now, if we have enough glutathione, everything is good. But if we don't have enough glutathione, then we run the risk of a lot of health issues happening to us. In fact, there are over 74 diseases and health challenges associated with low glutathione. So any health challenge you can think of, whether it's diabetes, hypertension, stroke, arthritis, erectile dysfunction, kidney issues, so many things. Almost everyone that you can think of is associated with low glutathione. So what do we do? You know, really up to now, there's not been much to do. I have met people who treat with intravenous glutathione. It's normally about maybe $200 a shot or $150 a shot, depending. And you have to be there several times a week if you're really taking it for your health. Most times what I see is that people are going once a week. So that's still a pretty hefty price tag of maybe $800 in a month, right? That's not going to be affordable for most people. Now, when you take a capsule of glutathione, which you can probably find in the marketplace, it will just get digested. You actually have to make glutathione in your cells. And this is where Max International comes in with ribosine. Ribosine is not glutathione. Ribosine gives our cells the nutrients we need to make glutathione naturally in our cells. And this is a very, very big deal. In fact, it took 25 years of research to create ribosine. And we have now over 50 peer-reviewed studies. Ribosine is patented, and it's 300% better than the next best alternative at raising glutathione within the cells. So it is a very, very, very big deal. And our products are all certified in whatever country we are open in. Our products are certified by that particular health regulatory board. So for example, here in Kenya, it's Pharmacy and Poisons Board. In Nigeria, it's NAFDAC. In Ghana, it is FDA. Just depends on the country and the certifications that are required. When we are open officially in a country, we are absolutely always certified. Our products are also halal certified, and they're certified to have no banned substances. So athletes and all of us can take them very freely. Now, our first product is Max 1. Max 1 is pure ribosine, and this will raise glutathione in the cells. It comes in a 1-month bottle, a small bottle, 1-month supply. And when you can raise glutathione in the cells, everything else that's good happens. You detoxify your system, you have better energy, you have stamina and strength, you reduce your stress, better mental focus, sleep, skin health, and so many more great things can happen. So Max 1 is a fantastic product. In many markets, we have been out of Max 1 and also even out of Celgevity. I'm happy to say that our markets are getting them restocked, so we're in great shape and coming very soon. So Celgevity is our most advanced product. It is the same ribosine that you find in Max 1, but it comes with 12 other supporting ingredients to make this our most advanced formula. So Celgevity has just arrived in Ghana. It's just arriving in Kenya. It will be available this week, and it will be arriving very soon in Nigeria. And of course, we have Celgevity available in North America as well. And so this is a fantastic product. You get the same benefits that you get from Max 1. It's just a little bit more advanced. And this product is something that really has helped a lot of people improve their health in a very large way. Now, Max ATP is a product I also love. This is a very, very fast acting product. It works extremely quickly, usually in about 15 minutes. You will notice, I always call this our performance drink. So you'll notice better mental or physical performance. If you're tired, you won't feel tired. If you are stressed, you won't be stressed. If you have to do anything physical, you're going to have a lot of stamina and strength and recovery. Maybe you're working out or maybe even libido. And if you're going to do anything with your brain, you're going to be very sharp and very focused. But this product is one that I love to sample with because people usually notice the difference in 15 minutes. You just mix 1 sachet in with a glass of water or a small bottle of water, and you're good to go. Now, Switch is a fantastic product as well. This is a weight loss product, a weight management product. It will target fat loss while you keep your lean muscle. It also includes ribosine. It's going to remove all of your toxins while you're reducing your weight. And you will notice reduced hunger and reduced cravings. So this is really a great option for those people who would love to trim down just a little bit and keep their curves. And then we have Max 357. This is an omega oil product. I love this product. Oh my goodness. It's omega-3, omega-5, omega-7, which is quite unique because you don't see that combination in most omega oil products. It's fantastic for skin, for hair, for nails, but it's also very, very good for eyes, for brain, for the whole digestive system, and for your metabolism overall. So excellent, excellent product. I love to pair this with either Max One or Celgevity for anyone who can manage the two. I've been taking this product, Max One and Celgevity, for many, many years. I take them all. I love them, and I wouldn't go without them. And, you know, when people use our products, they definitely will have a testimony to share. We get testimony after testimony after testimony, so very many. It's really exciting to see. And this is what keeps me so passionate about Max products, because when you know that you've really changed someone's life. You know, today I was with someone, and, you know, she's had some challenges, and she's noticing such a great difference in how she's feeling. And I just felt so glad that I could have been the one to introduce these products to her. We're both crossing our fingers and expecting some really interesting things to happen with her. And, you know, I know that that would be because I'm the one who told her about this. And if I hadn't told her about Max products, perhaps she wouldn't be experiencing those benefits. So I know that all of us who are on the call and who are associates, we feel the same way, because we have something very, very special. So not only do our products have a lot of science behind them, do they have a lot of studies behind them, but guess what? They actually work, and people notice the difference. So all we ever say, give the products a trial for yourself, commit for 90 days, try and see, and you will definitely have your own testimony. Now, for those who wish, you know, most people or many people are looking for an extra source of income these days. We're not going to go through this tonight, but what I want you to know is that if you love what you see and you want to make a difference for people, you want to make an impact on people's lives, but you'd also love to be making an extra income, then why not join us and become part of the business as well as just a customer? And so for those who wish, we have a fantastic income opportunity. And for anyone who would like to know more about that, just get back to the person that invited you to this call. You're also welcome to attend another event, either on Zoom or in person, and we're happy to share more. So, you know, every one of us deserves to have the best health. If you've ever had a health challenge and you've really struggled with your health, you know what it's like when you don't have your health, the things you can't do, the joy you don't have. And so we want everybody to experience the joy, to experience their full potential, to have the best moments with their families and their loved ones. And we all deserve that. So if you've seen enough to give this product a trial, please do that. You will be amazed at what you feel. You'll be blessed when you share it with others. And we're really looking forward to making much greater impact than we've made already with your help. So I want to pause it here, ask if anyone has any questions for Micah or for me. I see that Micah's back on the call. Thank you so much, Micah. So if anyone has any questions at all, we can have a few minutes for questions. If you have any, just type them into the chat or into the Q&A. Micah, thank you so much for your amazing presentation.
Thank you.
I hope that everyone learned something. Yes. I hope that you guys could hear me all right. Prince was saying that my voice is a little low, but I hope that it wasn't. Maybe that was Micah's voice he was talking about. I'm not sure. Okay, so Fulera is asking, can a pregnant woman take Max 357? Micah, what would you say to that?
The benefits of omega-3, 5, and 7 are quite diverse, even when consumed during pregnancy. But I always advise you, when it comes to supplementation during pregnancy, follow your professional's advice, because there's some assessment that should be done to determine whether you are at risk of deficiency in the first place, so that you don't wind up over-consuming a particular supplement. And I think there's also another one, and can a baby also take Max 357? Depends on the age of the baby. I am my mom's baby. I can take 357 1 year. Okay. Still, I would throw precaution until about 8 to 10 years. So at the beginning, omega-3 is okay. 5 and 7, there's a specific balance children need. So most of the supplements we have, I think they're calculated for adults. So yeah, hold off on that for now.
Yeah, we always like to err on the side of caution, right? And so if you ever have a question, it's always good to speak to your health professional directly about your own particular health. But we do say, as a US company, all US companies by law must put on their product packaging for supplements not recommended for pregnant or nursing women or children. All right. Now, even though we know we've had many children who have had various health challenges, who have received help with our products, we must say, as a US company, not recommended for children, pregnant women, or nursing mothers. And so really, it's a good idea to always consult with your health professional if you have a question about your own particular health. Yeah, thanks for that answer, Micah. Good. Any other questions or comments before we close off for the night? Or day, wherever you happen to be. Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We'll have this recording shared, and then please watch for the next session. Go ahead. Did you see another question, Micah?
Someone has asked, what is the best treatment for congestive heart failure? Yes. Someone has asked, what is the best treatment for congestive heart failure with Max products? Now, that's a cardiac. You remember, I did a presentation on cardiac issues a while back, I think last month. And there are benefits associated with the ingestion of anything antioxidant related. And also there are benefits of consuming anything with omega benefits. So I would recommend, first of all, one, alongside every other medication you're taking, it's good to consider the two. So yes, Max 1 alongside 357 would do wonders for that individual, but always guide them through so that they understand what to expect and what kind of benefits they would be experiencing. Yeah, that would be my advice on them too. I'd go for Max 1 with 357, but evaluate your client before prescribing.
Yes, and of course, if you're not a doctor yourself, please make sure that they are consulting with their own doctor for their health needs, especially something like a cardiac issue. We also would never advise anyone to throw away their medication and take Max products instead. It's always additional. It's a supplement, right? We're supplementing whatever the doctor's prescription might be or the doctor's recommendation. Okay, so thank you so much for the question, and thank you as well, Micah.
You're welcome.
Good. Any last questions or comments before we close off for the night?
I'm just buttoning up because it's getting cold.
And it's almost bedtime too. You said it's T minus 1 hour, 30 minutes. Now it's T minus 1 hour, and I know you still have to get home before.
It's 1 hour for me. I have 1 hour to get home and just dive into my bedding, take my shower and bedding.
Fantastic. Great. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for being part of the call today. We really appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Thank you to Micah, our amazing and knowledgeable guest speaker, clinical nutritionist. If you'd like to book a consultation with him, please definitely reach out. If you didn't catch the phone number, just reach out to the person that invited you. They'll be able to get in touch with one of us and we can connect you. All right. And if you'd like to buy Max products, please do get back to the person that invited you. All right. And they would be very happy to help you out as well. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have an amazing rest of your day, your evening, or your week. Bye-bye.